June 1866. Central Europe is at war. After territorial disputes in Schleswig-Holstein, the Prussian and Austrian empires are at war. Quickly, both sides recruit German states, and the Prussians recruit Italy to their cause. This war will decide the fates of both empires, as the winner will become the dominant German empire and will likely be the one to unite the entirety of Germany under its banner. Diplomacy has failed, and as the great Prussian diplomat Otto von Bismarck said, not through speeches and majority decisions will the great questions of the day be decided, but by iron and blood. Both sides began to quickly rally their forces, and on June 14th, war finally hit Central Europe. Both sides quickly began creating battle plans and strategies, and it would not be long before action would already begin happening in various areas. Through the 15th through 20th, various maneuvers were pulled by all sides of the conflict, leading to several bloody conflicts. The first major action occurs on June 16th in the area of Dresden, where 4 Prussian corps make a sudden advance attempting to take the city and drive a wedge that could potentially be the starting of a march on Vienna. The Saxon army holding Dresden would be outnumbered 4-1, but begins to fortify in an attempt to give itself a fighting chance. Just as the battle begins, the Austrian 5th Corps arrives, offering a small boost to the numbers. However, the Austrian forces are still outnumbered 2-1, and the Battle of Mortisburg begins. The battle rages over the next 2 days, but by the 18th, the Prussians have succeeded in taking Dresden. It is a horrific slaughter for the Austrians, who take appalling casualties to both of the corps, as the Prussians receive relatively few casualties in return. Dresden is taken alongside most of the remaining territory, and the 2 Austrian corps are forced to retreat towards Prague. The Austrians' casualties are extensive, and the Saxon army in particular receives the brunt of the damage. For the Austrians, this is a grim start to the war, as high casualties and the loss of Dresden puts them on the back foot. For the Prussians, could not have gone practically any better. The Prussians have not only conquered Dresden and severely damaged multiple Austrian corps, but they now have a potential direct march towards Vienna, which, if captured, would surely bring about the end of the war. The Austrians will have to find a way to respond to this. Yet it is not all doom and gloom for the Austrians, as elsewhere they have more success. The next one is at Hanover, where the Hanover Corps and a Prussian Corps meet as they were marching towards each other, and a battle in the town of Kirchdorf unfolds on the 18th. It is a battle that sees the Prussian Corps get caught by surprise, and the Hanover Corps is able to consolidate quicker and carry the field. With it, they inflict moderate casualties to the Prussians, and although they are not able to land a decisive blow, they stop any offensive action from the Prussian Corps for the time being. 2 days later, a much larger battle also occurs in this western area, as Frankfurt comes under attack by 3 Prussian corps. However, unlike Dresden, where the Prussians had a significant numerical advantage, the Austrians are able to rush 3 corps up to assist the Frankfurt garrison, actually giving them the numerical advantage. After a series of bloody conflicts, the Austrians managed to turn the tide and decisively force back the Prussian forces, inflicting heavy casualties alongside it. Any offensive that the Prussians were hoping to launch in the future have to be postponed as their corps are badly mauled and unable to stand up to the Austrian forces. The opening conflicts round off with a final conflict taking place on the Italian front line, where a Austrian corps and a Italian corps march to attack each other. The Austrians were attempting to seize the initiative and potentially inflict a heavy blow to the Italians before they could consolidate their forces. However, the quick Austrian advance turns into a disadvantage as the Italians make superior use of the hilly terrain that they are more familiar with to inflict heavy casualties on the Austrian corps. Italy, who has otherwise not shown its strongest military prowess, has just shown that it is able to overcome Austrian aggression, and this may change how the Austrians handle the Italian front going forward. Beyond that, this is how the conflict looks so far. Dresden is in Prussian hands. Frankfurt holds firm against a Prussian advance. The Hanover Corps deals light damage to the Prussian corps, preventing potential encirclement, and the Italians inflict a heavy blow against an Austrian offensive. This is only 4 days into the conflict, and yet several significant battles have already been fought. As more forces continue to mobilize and reach the front line, there can only be one thing for certain. This war has just begun, and there is much more blood that will be shed before it ends. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe to not miss out on any future events as they occur. I'm going to continue producing videos based around this community event. For those that don't know what this video is exactly covering, this is the Fire and Maneuver Discord event where players will essentially be fighting the Austro-Prussian War of 1866 in an attempt to essentially see who wins. It's a wide community event that is being hosted by the game developers, and there are dozens or probably hundreds of players on each side that are able to fight in battles and command these corps to move around the map and fight each other. I'm making videos to cover the events of this. We just saw what was essentially the first turn. There are probably many, many more to come. So you make sure to like and subscribe. And let me know down in the comments below, are you in this war already? Are you interested in seeing where this goes? Are you rooting for one side or the other? I want to see what people are, which side are you on? Personally, I'm on the Austrian side, but I'm not going to let any bias influence these videos. I'll try to present these straight and forward to the manner. There is going to be a link down in the description for the Fire and Maneuver Discord. If you want to join in this fight, you're able to go in there and you'll be able to pick a role and join either the Prussian or Austrian armies. And then you can potentially sign up to fight in battles to change the course of the war. It's a really cool event, and if you have Fire Maneuver or if you play it at all, I highly recommend getting involved in this, as it is quite exciting. Otherwise, I believe that is about it for today. Definitely some interesting things in terms of the actual war. I'm very interested to see where the Dresden forces go. We'll see if the Austrians can actually prevent them from just marching to Vienna. And I'm also curious to see what happens with Italy. Such a devastating defeat in Italy is quite painful, especially as significant Italian forces begin to gather. It could be a rough time, but The Austrians are also performing quite well in the West, so we will have to see where that all goes. It's anybody's game at the moment. But other than that, I have nothing else for you. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you all later.